Hey racers, John Racer 3 today for the start of the inaugural season of the King of the Hill Championship. Now, as you can see, we have a ton of Hot Wheels cars here sitting underneath the Super 6-lane raceway, looking absolutely great today. And this is the start of a huge season that I'm going to be coming to the channel here over the next few years even. So let me go ahead, get into more detail, and then we'll hop right into the racing, because I'm sure you guys are excited to hear what's about to go down. So here's the way it's going to work. As you can see, we have a large assortment of cars, not a set number, that are all going to go head to head to see which car here is the fastest and which car will be deemed King of the Hill. Now, there'll be a lot of videos like this. As you can see, I didn't choose every car in my collection. I only chose a certain few from all sorts of different manufacturers, and we're going to see which car is the fastest on the King of the Hill. For instance, let's say this Audi and this Viper race first, and the Viper wins. The Audi is out. The Viper will now try and race and beat every single car. But let's say the last car he races is this Tesla Roadster, and the Tesla Roadster wins. The Tesla Roadster will be the King of the Hill. So it is a quest to see which car is the fastest. And like I said before, this is the Super 6-lane raceway, which will be the host of the first race of the King of the Hill series. There will be other tracks featured later this year, such as the Fat Track, a super fast long 2-lane, the distance tracks, you name it, the King of the Hill will live on. So we're going to try and find the King of the Hill today for the Super 6-lane, and then all the King of the Hills will battle at the end to see which one truly is the king. So let's go ahead and start off the 2022 inaugural season of the King of the Hill with our first matchup, which is the Viper and the Tesla. We might be switching lanes depending how lanes 1 and 2 do, but we're going to try and race down lanes 5 and 6 to see which car is the fastest. Let's go ahead and see Tesla on the inside, Viper on the outside to start off the season. 3, 2, 1. And it's going to be the Tesla Roadster beating out the Viper, no sweat. Next up against the Tesla, we have an Audi RS5. The RS5 just does not have the speed. He's going to lose it on the track and just lose it to the Tesla. Finishes backwards though, that's kind of cool. Next up, we have a Liberty Walk Nissan GTR going up against the Tesla. The GTR puts up a fight, but the Tesla's still going to take the win. Next up is Tesla versus Tesla with the Tesla Roadster as the challenger. And look at that, the Tesla Roadster, two Tesla Roadsters. The Matchbox newer version does not beat out the Hot Wheels old version. Next, we've got a Toyota Supra. And that Tesla Roadster is fast. The Tesla not able to beat him. Oh, sorry, I meant the Supra. The Supra cannot beat the Tesla. We've got more Teslas now. The Tesla Model X takes a shot at it. That Roadster is just so quick. The Tesla Model X, though, not a bad performance. Next up, we have the Nissan Leaf Nismo. And look at that, the Tesla's gonna spin around, and since he was leading, we'll give him a redo. That will also be a rule. If the car is losing and it spins out to begin with, then we won't give him a redo because he's already losing, but if the leader spins out, we'll do him again. The lanes are straightened up, let's try it again. And that Tesla just has so much speed as he beats out the Nissan. Before we get any further into this tournament though, guys, I want to let you guys know only a small percentage of you guys are actually subscribed. So if you want to support the channel and see more races like this, make sure you subscribe and like the video to see more. Next up, we have a Liberty Walk Nissan Silvia to try and take it. Oh, but the Silvia has the speed! It is the Nissan Silvia dethroning the Tesla for the first time in the King of the Hill series. Look at that. It was a great and dominant run by the Tesla Roadster, dethroning all of these cars, but now it's the Silvia taking the reign as he goes up against the C8 Corvette from Hot Wheels. And it's close! The C8 Corvette's going to dethrone the Silvia instantly, taking the win. Next up is the Toyota AE86 going up against that Corvette. The Toyota's quick too! The Toyota wins it, beating out the Corvette. It is not safe being the king. These three cars have all been the king, and they've all been eliminated right after another. Next up, we have the Toyota as the king going up against a Camaro. And it's going to be an easy win from the Toyota, taking the win over the Camaro. Next up is Dom's Charger from Fast and Furious. Can he take down the Toyota? It doesn't look like it. That Toyota is just blazing fast, and he beats out Dom's Charger. Next up against the Toyota is a Dodge Viper. The Viper has some speed. He's going to bring it back on the straightaway, dethroning the Toyota and taking the crown to be the king. Our new king, the Dodge Viper, goes up against the Hot Wheels ID Audi R8 LMS. And that Viper has some speed. I was not expecting that. The Hot Wheels ID car loses and the Viper keeps his crown. Next up, we got two Vipers, the Red Viper and the White SRT Viper. The Red Viper is going to beat the SRT, but not by much. The SRT holds it, but it's still the Red Viper with the crown. Next up on the track, we got some exotics. We've got the Lamborghini Urus. And the Lamborghini is going to get beaten by the Viper. Next up, we got a Corvette Z06 going up against the Viper. And it's close! The Corvette almost brings it back, but it is lane 6. That is the Dodge keeping his crown, but that was close. The Dodge seems to be losing some speed on the straight, so that seems to be the weakness. And up against it, we have a Honda Prelude, which did very well in the March Madness tournament, which also involved some downhill racing. Let's see who takes it. The Prelude has some speed. He gets loose, but he's going to stay on the track. Not a good performance. The Dodge wins it, but maybe the Prelude will come back in another race, because he is fast. Next up, we got a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. The 911 doesn't have the speed. He holds it on the straight, but the Viper is still going to take the win off the start. Next up, we have a pretty new Hot Wheels casting, a Ford Mustang Mach-E. The Mach-E's holding its speed, and he gets it on the straight. We have a new king, everybody. The Ford Mustang Mach-E takes the win. Next up, we got the Ford Mustang Mach-E versus the Ford GT. The Ford GT does not have the speed the Mach-E does. The Mach-E takes the win. Next up, we have an Indy 500 Oval. The Indy 500 Oval has the speed, but not fast enough to beat the Ford. Next up, we have a Nissan Silvia Drift from Hot Wheels ID. The Silvia Drift does not have the speed either. The Ford Mustang keeps its crown. Our next competitor is the Datsun 510 Wagon. Oh, and it is a close battle down the straight. It is the Datsun dethroning the Ford. What a race! Neck and neck, it is the Datsun claiming the crown. And the cars are only getting faster from here. Next up, we have a Corvette C8R. Bad start for the C8, but manages to hold his speed well as the Datsun takes the win again. Our next competitor is a Porsche 935. And it's the Datsun taking the win. Next, we have a Porsche 918 Spyder up against the Datsun. The 918 Spyder does not have the speed either. The Datsun keeps his crown. Our next competitor is a Ford Focus RS. And it's going to be the Datsun wagon taking the win again. Does the Ford Mustang Boss 302 have what it takes to take down the Datsun? Well, that was a tongue twister. It might look like it, but not fast enough. The Datsun is not able, or the Datsun holds his crown and the Mustang's not able to dethrone him. Our next competitor is a Range Rover Velar. And that Datsun is absolutely flying, destroys the Range Rover. Next up, we have my personal favorite casting, the Ford Fiesta. The Ford Fiesta has some speed, but not able to win. Oh, but no, it's a wreck. The Datsun wreck's leading. We have to go redo it. And the cause of the wreck, a breach in the track. We will repair and continue racing shortly. Can the Ford Fiesta bring it back in race 2? It doesn't look like it. The Datsun takes the win. Piece of cake. Next up, we have a DMC DeLorean. The DeLorean has some speed, has managed to hang on with the Datsun, but the Datsun's still fast enough. Next up, we have a Subaru Impreza going up against the Datsun. Man, that Datsun just has so much speed as he keeps his crown. This next car up is notoriously fast. We have the Audi R8 Spyder. The R8, it manages to hang on with the Datsun, but it's going to be lane 6. That is the Datsun taking the win, beating out the Audi, which was blazing fast. If you guys watch my TikTok videos, you know this Audi is blazing fast, so that should give you a sense of how fast this Datsun is. But another fast car up on the road, we have a BMW M4, which has won tournaments before on this channel. Another really good competitor. Let's see how he does. The M4 is not able to hang with the Datsun, though. Datsun takes the win again. Next up, got a BMW M2. M2 does not have the speed to beat the Datsun. Next up is a Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera. The Gallardo gets off the line pretty well, but not fast enough to beat the Datsun, unfortunately. I believe at this point the Datsun is now the longest reigning champion of the King of the Hill series. Now up against him is a Lamborghini Huracan Liberty Walk wide body kit. The Huracan has the speed down the 6 lane but not on the straights as the Datsun takes it again. Next up is a casting that's notoriously fast, the Lamborghini Aventador. But it's not fast enough, the Datsun wins it easily. Next up on the track is a Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. The Sesto has the speed! Lane 5, the Sesto dethrones the Datsun. What a race that was, the mystery. Lamborghini Sesto Elemento beats out the 5-pack Datsun. Wow, what a run. The Datsun, now holding the record for the most amount of cars dethroned and destroyed as the king, has been dethroned by the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. Up against it though, we have the Lamborghini Veneno. The Sesto Elemento is just too fast, beats out the Veneno. Next up on the track, we have a Ferrari 599 GTB. Ferrari not fast enough to beat the Lamborghini. The next car is extremely fast, a Ferrari 458 going up against the Lamborghini. The Ferrari holding his own on lane 5, the Ferrari's gonna dethrone the Lamborghini. That throne wasn't long at all, the Lamborghini's dethroned by his supercar manufacturer competitor, the Ferrari 458. Our new king, the Ferrari 458, goes up against his Ferrari, other Ferrari, the Ferrari LaFerrari, Ferrari. In a Ferrari matchup, the Ferrari 458 takes it. Now McLaren's showing up to see if they can take the title away. We have the McLaren Senna. The Senna's not fast enough as it gets beat by the Ferrari. Ferrari beats McLaren, I guess that's no surprise there. Next up, we have the Ferrari FXX. That Ferrari 458 though is just too quick as the Ferrari takes it. Next up is another McLaren. The McLaren P1 tries to take the throne. And it's not going to be good enough as the Ferrari 458 takes it again. Our next competitor, the Aston Martin Vulcan. The Vulcan has the speed. It is so close. The Vulcan loses it though, and it's lane 6, the Ferrari taking the win. That was an absolutely incredibly close race. Unbelievable, and I would not expect that from the Vulcan, given that it is not the fastest casting, but the Ferrari holds his crown. We have 6 cars left to race, one of those 6 being the Koenigsegg Jesko. Can he take down the 458? It's gonna be close, hangs with him, but the 458 is still gonna take the win over the Koenigsegg. Does the Koenigsegg Gamera have what it takes to take down the 458? A bad start from the Gamera, unfortunate. It's going to be the Ferrari 458 taking the win, but the Gamera can come back in another tournament. The Aston Martin Valkyrie, one of the last stands against the Ferrari. Let's see how he does. The Valkyrie does not hang on, loses his speed in the downhill, and the Ferrari takes the win. And last but not least, we have 3 Bugattis to see if they can take down the Ferrari. 3 more cars, and the Ferrari will keep his crown. Let's see who takes it. Oh, it's going to be close. The Bugatti hangs on, but it's not close enough. The Ferrari is still going to take it, but that was a close one. We have 2 cars remaining to see who can take the crown. We have the Bugatti Divo from Matchbox up against the Ferrari 458. The Divo loses it on the inside. Unfortunate, and the Ferrari's track even breaks. A wacky race, but the Ferraris are going to take it. Bugatti was unfortunately losing before he came derailed, so he is not going to get another chance to beat the Ferrari and become the king. There is one more chance to see who can become the king of the hill, and that is with the Bugatti EB110. Could the first inaugural king of the hill race have a king throned within the last race? We'll have to see. The Ferrari's really fast. He's had some close races though. This is it. Who will be the king? This race will decide it all. Does the Ferrari have what it takes, or can the Bugatti steal it last second? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. It's gonna be close! The Bugatti steals the win from the Ferrari. In the last race, the Bugatti EB110 is gonna be your king of the hill. That is unbelievable. The Ferrari had it in his grasp, and he has sadly been dethroned by the Bugatti EB110, who is your king of the Super 6-Lane Raceway for 2022. An absolutely shocking race, one of the best tournaments I filmed in a long time. I hope you guys like it because there are more to come in the future. If your favorite car here lost, do not worry. Cars will race again. The Ferrari will race again. The Tesla, the Nissan, the Datsun, and the Sesto, they will all race again on a future track to see who will be the king of the hill. And this is an absolutely fun series. And let me know if you guys have cars that you think can be the king of the hill and beat the Bugatti in the finale. Make sure to comment down below and let me know so I can race them in the next tournament. But that is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time filming it, and just like that, the tournament's over. The Ferrari, absolutely stunning performance from the Ferrari. To get beat on the last race by the Bugatti is unheard of. A great kickoff to the 2022 season of the King of the Hill. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.
Maybe I'm too old now, but just afraid that you